So this week was their mental health block, and they learned to recognize signs and symptoms of people experiencing a mental health crisis or have a mental health concern, and how to de-escalate and communicate effectively with them when they're in that state. It's extremely important because we want them to be able to use strategic communication in order to de-escalate a situation without going hands-on. It's safer for the officer, and it's also safer for the citizen. It's hard to learn how to be professional and still effective sometimes, because in the scenarios the actors will amp up their behavior and reduce the anxiety or their behavior based on how the officer performs. So if the officer is effective, they'll calm down and be compliant. If the officer escalates the situation, then the actor will escalate as well. So it's good for the officers to see how their words really do make a difference in how a person will respond.
We are at the old prison and we're doing patrol ops. So the entire week is basically scenarios.
Patrol operations is the best and the closest we can get to as a call for service that an officer would encounter out in the field. Conducting a live traffic stop, interacting with the public, having a cooperative individual or a non-cooperative individual. They're also going to have responding to calls for service. A call for service may be a domestic violence call, an alarm call, a burglary call, things of that sort. Something where they have to apply whatever they've used out throughout the academy and apply it in a real world scenario. We have role players that will, be in role. We tend to use the officers that they'll be their coach officers during their field training, so they can kind of feed off of how the officer, in this case the recruit, is acting and applying their techniques and tactics, and then really kind of clean up anything they may have. But like I said, it really goes anything from domestic violence calls to DWIs, traffic stops, misdemeanor warrants, felony warrants, and the biggest thing, like I say, is the officer recruit can apply what they've learned throughout the academy.
Keep moving! Do it again. Go, quick.
All right, we're in week 21 of the 22-week academy. This week is Officer Survival Week. We were able to secure the facilities here at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. So we're down here in Artesia, New Mexico at FLETC with the 93rd recruit class. The importance of this week is it's pretty much the recruits are all on their own. Everything they do is on their own. They receive instruction in the morning for firearms training. We're trying to refresh them on their firearms, and now we're trying to advance them and trying to teach them some more advanced techniques and just things they might not have considered. Things that might help them survive a gunfight, such as how to put on the tourniquet and work your way back up to your feet and stay in the gunfight while you're doing all those things. Awkward shooting positions with your rifle, awkward shooting positions with your pistol, distance shooting with your pistol. We'll shoot all the way out to 100 yards with our pistols this week. Just things that outside of the box type training for them, so they can hopefully remember these things in a stressful situation and remember that they can do it. And also we're trying to finally build their confidence for the end of the academy. Let them know that they are ready and they are prepared to go hit the streets.
It's intense. The attack guys are really intense. They're our instructors this week, so I think it's good for us. I think it's putting a lot of people in their place. It's making a lot of things real. It's a lot of range time. I love the range, so it's fun for me. Everybody's working hard and looking squared away this week, so that's good. Last week was cool because we went over a ton of scenarios, and I think we're going to get into some scenarios like later today and tonight.
In the evenings we'll be doing some scenario-based training, and in the scenario-based training they're pretty much given a scenario. All they are is dispatched to a call, and that's it. We have safety officers there, so our role players don't get hurt, our recruit officers don't get hurt, and it's them. They have to solve the problem all by themselves. So we're trying to get them their last bit of confidence right before they graduate, right before they hit the street.
we're conducting the pit maneuver, okay, which is a pit maneuver in a vehicle or a technique that's used to bring a fleeing vehicle to a stop. It's a safe technique. The recruits have practiced it up in Santa Fe numerous times. This morning we went ahead and conducted a couple more practices for them just to kind of get them back in the saddle with conducting a safe pursuit. For the rest of the morning portion, we're going to be conducting a full-blown pursuit, which a vehicle will initiate a traffic stop, pursuit will ensue in the vehicle. Secondary unit will enter into the pursuit as a secondary vehicle. The primary function of the primary vehicle is to continue pursuit until a secondary officer is to join the pursuit. At that point, the secondary unit would take over the radio communications, communicating with dispatch, the direction of travel, the traffic on the roadway, and then also the vehicle speed. The recruits have been trained and taught not to be conducting a pit over a safe speed that we've already established. Then they'll conduct the pit maneuver. Then the primary vehicle will move in as the containment unit, and then the secondary unit will move in also as a containment unit on the other side of the vehicle, the suspect vehicle. From that point, then they would exit their vehicle and conduct what we call a high risk or a felony stop. Just because of the given unknown factors of why the vehicle's fleeing, there may be some unknown dangers to the officers, so they would conduct a felony stop or a high risk stop.